Today let's talk about meal prepping, how it can not only save you money, but also keep you slim. Hello everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to The Daily Connoisseur. I'm the author of the Madame Chic series and the upcoming book, The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home. I am a big advocate for dining well, especially at home. I see the benefits of it in my own life because when I'm prepared with my meals, I not only save so much money, but I also eat healthier and am able to maintain my ideal body weight. And one of the major keys to this is with meal prepping. So let's talk about it. But first, an anecdote. Okay, so during the month of May, I was completely frazzled. I had something booked almost every single day, like a major event, and it was so stressful for me. So anyway, I completely fell behind on meal prepping and everything. And I remember one day I picked up my daughter from practice and we were going to go through fast food because I didn't have anything planned for dinner. And we went to Del Taco. Now, I normally like Taco Bell better because I love their nachos Bel Grande, but we were near Del Taco, so we went through the drive-thru and I ordered food for me and the kids because Ben was in England. So it was me and my 4 kids, so 5 people, right? But I even did not order that much. Like I only got 2 drinks that we planned to split with everybody. And then I just got tacos and like quesadillas, you know, like not tons of food. And the bill was like $61. And I was completely shocked by this. I was like, excuse me? I couldn't believe, we didn't even all get a drink. This was crazy. Like I just feel like I've had restaurant meals for that price where we all were fed better. Anyway, that was a wake-up call for me, and I thought, wow, I need to get back to my meal prepping routine because how many groceries can I buy for $60 that are better for me than what I was getting at Del Taco? So anyway, that was an experience that showed me that meal prepping helps you save money, but also keeps you slim. We're gonna get to that in just a second. But first, why does it help save money? The obvious reason is that you are prepared with your meals at home and you're not impulse spending at the last minute at Del Taco's, spending so much more than you want to spend. And that's the thing about when you're not prepared with meals at home, you're buying them out. And I'm sure you've noticed it's pricey out there with all these meals. If you get drinks, it just goes up and up. So that's the number one reason why it saves you money. But also meal prepping can minimize food waste because you can go into your fridge and figure out what you want to use. It cuts down obviously on restaurant and delivery expenses. And also this may not seem totally obvious, but it frees up your time because you might think meal prepping is time consuming. However, if you do it smart and you do it 1 or 2 times a week, you're getting all the work done in one day, all the cleanup done in one day. So you're not constantly bringing out the pots and pans, making messes and things like that. So when you free up time, obviously, you also free up money because you can spend it doing other things, maybe working or maybe resting, and that is, you know, very valuable. Meal prepping also encourages you to buy food in bulk, so that saves money as well typically if you buy larger items like rice or potatoes, things like that in bulk, and you're not just, you know, buying 1 or 2 things here or there. Okay, so let's talk about how meal prepping can keep you slim. So if you've read my Madame Chic series, you know that I studied abroad in Paris and I lived with a French family. And Madame Chic was the queen of the home-cooked meal. She delivered this every single day that I was there. She cooked an amazing home-cooked meal. Now, funny enough, Madame Chic did not meal prep that much. At least I didn't notice her doing this. But having said that, she was an older woman and she was retired. So she didn't necessarily have to. She did have the time to freshly make a meal every single day. Now, I have 4 kids and I also work full-time. So for me, it's just much more manageable if I meal prep and prep a few things in advance. But you can do whatever works for your lifestyle. But one thing about living in the Chic household was that we had a home-cooked meal every day. They never, ever got takeout. There was one time where they went away and I had dinner with their son and his friends and brothers. And what we did was we took some frozen food out of the freezer and we had that for our dinner. But we still never ordered a pizza. There was never McDonald's or any fast food at all. We called it McDo. That was really significant to me. And when they went out, I believe that they only went to a restaurant one time for a celebration, but when they went out to eat, it was usually at a dinner party at someone else's house. Now, this was a long time ago, obviously, and it was also in Paris, so not America or maybe the country that you live in. And so it could have been a cultural thing. But what I took from it was that we dined so well and we ate amazing food that had really great ingredients, no mystery ingredients. And not only that, but they were all in shape and they looked great. And none of them were overweight or struggling with that. And I really do believe that being prepared with meals and eating at home was a major contributor to this. So there's a few reasons why meal prepping can also keep you slim. And the first obvious one is that it reduces the amount of times that you go get takeout or fast food or maybe food that is not that good for you. Because oftentimes when we are stressed and we just need a quick bite, we're not going to the health food restaurant down the street necessarily. A lot of the times we're in the drive-thru or we're getting things that we're not entirely sure how they're prepared. And often a lot of the so-called healthy takeout is not so healthy. I hear about, different oils that are used or maybe lots of salt to flavor the meals or chemicals that could be in the food that we don't know about. Now, I'm not trying to get paranoid about all this stuff, but the more you know what's in your food, the better it is for you. So it is easier to maintain a healthy weight when you're eating food that you know what's in it and it meets your dietary requirements. Another reason why meal prepping helps you stay slim is because of portion control. And sometimes when you go out to these big restaurants, you get massive portions. When you're at home, you can control what you eat and you can plate your food and then put it away in the fridge and probably have leftovers the next day, but you're able to control those portions. Meal prepping also maintains consistency, and if you are aiming to maintain a healthy weight, consistency really is key. If you are in the habit of having a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunch, a healthy dinner, I like to have desserts as well, so I don't limit myself in any way at all. But if you are consistently dining well with healthy ingredients that are good for you, then it's easier to maintain that weight. But if you're all over the place, like on Monday, you're eating well at home, with your meal prep and your healthy food, and then Tuesday and Thursday, you're getting fast food because you were overwhelmed, and then Friday you're out, and it's not as easy to maintain that consistency. The first year that I did intermittent fasting and I lost 30 pounds in 1 year, that was a lot of it to do with intermittent fasting, but also it was during COVID and I wasn't leaving the house. I didn't get takeout or restaurant food hardly that entire year. I was eating at home. And a lot of people will notice that probably, that when you eat at home consciously, that you are eating well. Now, why did I say consciously? Because sometimes when we're at home, we snack all day long. Unconsciously, okay? And I do believe that meal prepping can help with that too, and it can reduce that. Because when you know that you have a great meal ready for you, you are less likely to snack. But when you're stressed out and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna make for dinner? I don't know. You might reach into the chip bag. You might eat a few snacks along the way when you're not entirely sure what dinner is going to be. And that can be a detriment to maintaining a healthy weight as well. So what is my meal prep schedule? It definitely changes throughout the year. Something that I have been enjoying lately is an afternoon, like Sunday afternoon, I will meal prep a lot of proteins. So I will roast salmon, I will grill some chicken, I will grill up a steak. And if I have these proteins in the fridge, then it's easier for me throughout the week to easily prepare meals that go with them. If I make a batch of ground beef or ground turkey and I keep that in the fridge, then I can easily either make a shepherd's pie, a spaghetti bolognese, tacos. It just makes the actual meal itself so much easier to plan when I don't need to cook the protein. That's my favorite way to meal prep. I absolutely love roasting salmon. I will keep the salmon in the fridge. I'll have that with mashed potatoes that I also meal prep, or I will have it with a pasta. I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can do this. With chicken and steak, I love to make bowls. So I'll have some rice and I'll cook that up fresh in the rice cooker. It's so easy. Then I'll add my protein to it and vegetables, whatever I want. I'll show you an example right here of something that I used from a meal prep. So this is some salmon that I had roasted, and I had it with cauliflower rice and mango, avocado, and some hummus. And I can't remember if there's anything else on my plate because I'm not looking at it right now. But that's an example of the type of meal that I would love to have. I just love it. And meal prepping makes it so much easier. So it's really about finding the day that works for you, getting organized with it, with ordering your groceries or buying them in the store, and then also implementing it on a regular basis. And you also need recipes that you enjoy. And because I've been cooking for so long, for so many people, I have so many recipes in my head that I just easily whip up. And it's also to the point where I can easily improv things as well. Like I made this creamy salmon pasta the other day, and I just completely made up the recipe and it was so good. You get to the point where that is easier for you. Now, I would like to say that my new book, The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home, has a lot of meal prepping advice and even recipes, freezer meals, all sorts of goodies in my book. So I will leave it down below. I would love for you to pre-order it today because it comes out this November. So I'll leave that down below and I can't wait for you to read it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to dive deeper in this topic, let me know. And I would love to know about your experience with meal prep. Do you meal prep? What has your experience been? Have you been ordering out too much, takeout, restaurants, spending too much money? What's your experience with meal prep keeping you slim? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.